Sure. Gee, you know an awful lot of tricks. You're not a professional magician, are you?
No, I'm not a magician.
Oh, I was just joking.
You really don't know who I am?
Good afternoon.
Hello there. What are we doing today?
What are we doing today? We have this mindless list row, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just repeat myself. So we talk about select columns,
Mm-hmm.
how to drill down into lookups using expand query or navigate one-to-many relationship and get some data from related tables. We've seen magical 2-for-1 for choice and 5-for-1 for lookups, where you can get all the information about the values.
Yes.
The general idea is to reduce number of columns and only ask for what you need. It makes things faster and more pleasant to deal with during the edit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried dealing with choices? Choices like multi-select option sets.
No, I think they're the most redundant field ever because they don't work in half the places.
It doesn't work in half the places because they chose the implementation where the values are comma separated list of values. So that kind of breaks a lot of places, including portals, and the queries are not quite robust and so on. But it's got its pluses and minuses. Just in case you're curious, we can talk about it.
Let's do an episode on multi-select option sets.
We did talk about row count.
Yes, we did.
The one thing that I didn't mention that it will align on the page. So if you ask for 6,000 records, you're going to get 10. Not here, sorry. If you go into settings and you ask for 6,000 here, how many do you think you're going to get back?
As many as that. I don't know. It feels like a trick question, so I don't know.
It's a trap!
Now, of course, it's a trick. So it's going to be 10,000, 2 pages. So it's always aligned on the pages.
Okay.
Page size is 5,000 records.
Yeah.
So if you go in and ask for 6,000, it will have to retrieve 2 pages of information. If you really want just 6,000, you put it here because that adds a top clause to the query.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It says, don't give me any more than select top 6,000. Okay. So we know that there is row count that limits the number. And we also know that there is a page size of 5,000 and there is a threshold which can only be as high as 100,000. So what if you need more than 100,000? The general answer is you don't.
Stop it. Go get some better data.
Get some ideas about how to filter. There is nothing worth doing over 100,000 records, not in Flow anyway, not in Power Automate. There are certainly bulk updates that you might need to do, right? But you would use other tools like Kingsway Soft, SSIS tools, something a bit more non-citizen friendly to update. If you need to do a bulk update of 10 million records, it needs some planning beyond simple Flow.
This is where in the documentation it goes, give this piece of code to a developer.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't have a developer. What do you want me to do with it?
Ask me.
I'll come to you soon.
Okay, filtering rows. Let's start with some simple scenarios. And simple scenarios, let's filter all contacts that have sample in their name.
Love it.
So what you need to know is the column, and he just happened to be a full name. I just know the column. And remember, if you don't, then you always have Magic Rocket to the rescue where you can find out.
Yes, we do.
The name of the column, not display name, but the logical name or system name of the column.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing you need to remember is how to record operations.
Let's just pause for a second to admire George's failure to comprehend and memorize even the simplest words. It's operators, not operations. You soggy wheat bix.
So in this instance, you need to know a few of those. Equal, EQ for equal, right? NE for not equal. In this instance, we're dealing with the text. So we're going with the like.
Ooh. Is there a dislike?
Dislike? No, there is no dislike. There is not
Oh.
like, but not
Oh,
dislike.
not like.
I like your thinking though.
Thank you.
Oh. That's not going into recording. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
why not?
Because George
Mm.
effed up once again.
That
Wrong.
was beautiful.
Down the wrong pipe. Oh, now I'm all teary.
Oh, it's been emotional.
Filter results. Here's your filter. So it's equal, not
Yes.
equal, greater than, greater or equal.
I get that, but as someone who doesn't know code, I would just copy and paste the whole thing. So $filter equals not contains. And now I know not to, but before I didn't know not to, I did. And that's why it didn't work. And that's why I hated Power Automate.
Yeah, I think I just inserted the wrong thing. That's fetch XML. That's not gonna work.
I was going to say, I was going to go with contains,
Why didn't you?
but I thought I was wrong.
First name, la.
Full name,
What else? What else do we need to know? Email.
full name. Full name's a field, and full name's made of first name, last name, and middle name, other name.
Not middle name. That's one of my pet peeves. Middle name.
That's part of that's included in full name, though, isn't it?
No.
Really?
Now, George being an idiot and put in fetch XML where it should be contains
You still need full name, though.
full name.
No?
Yeah. Contains full name sample.
Yay! Aren't you clever?
No, Amy, you are too kind. Enabler so far has been a monumental disabler this afternoon.
Here's your output. They're all samples.
Beautiful.
How many of them?
Can't count.
13.
13. It counts for you.
13 items.
Yes.
Now what we can do is not contain, right?
Oh, this contains. Uncontains.
Uncontains.
Decontains.
Decontains.
Yippee.
Presumably 7. Yep.
Oops. Apparently you're sending an email. That's interesting. But you're not. It's smoke and mirrors.
They will never know.
Ooh.
This is between you and I, or me, between you and me.
You and me.
What other conditions we can do? So again, here, number of children equals 0. Oh, let's go and I think Cave wasn't aware that he has one child.
Surprise.
1, okay? And this one has 0 children.
Oh, poor Cavey. I know.
So we get someone with the 0, right?
Yeah. Or null. What are we trying to get?
People with
With
no children. So
Without children.
1 without. So what we want to add here is or
Blank.
number of children equal null. Null is a special value. So, and if you are confused about the order in which it's going to be evaluated, you can always add brackets. So it's either null or 0. So now we should get what? 19? 19.
Magic.
Magic. To clarify, the difference between 0 and null is that null means no data.
Blank, right?
Blank. Yep. No data entry.
Gotcha.
It can happen even if we make field mandatory. It still can happen when you import the data, for
Yeah.
example, or someone uses API to
mode.
do the data
saying.
entry or bypass it through the portal settings. There's always a way to get data in that is not compliant with the requirement. It may be hard, but possible. So it's equal null or 0. So the one thing that I didn't want to talk about, so filtering works on a simple one, but what about dates, right? Remember those expressions when you have today or last 7 days?
That's a really good question. I genuinely have no idea.
That really becomes difficult to enter. Those are extensions to our data, specific Microsoft or Dataverse expressions. And the easiest way to deal with them is to fire up XRM Toolbox.
Okay. I always put this in my too hard box, so this is useful.
I agree, Amy. Unlike me today, it is useful, but this is for the next time.
I agree you were not terribly useful today, so let's leave it for the next time.
Il mio cor, don't forget ta 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 ta. Don't get nervous, don't get nervous. Please, let's come back.